Hey everyone, welcome back to Under the Covers. This is going to be our first episode of Under the Covers Underexposed. I'm Charlie,
Hmm. I'm Nick.
and this is a real impromptu episode because today I noticed on our TikTok account that I had a little, unread message in there, and I clicked on it, and it was a band that actually tagged us in one of their posts. And so we got pretty excited because that's the first time that's ever happened.
Yeah.
And yeah, so Nick
Oh
had
yeah.
happened to call,
I yeah.
and yeah, so I was telling him about it, and he's like, "Well, let's just fucking record one real quick. Let's talk about it, and thank them and give their song a shot."
Yeah. The thing is when we started this too was we wanted to do a wide range of music and not just always a popular song. There's a lot of cool bands that are sort of unknown or smaller. So this works out pretty good. So we're calling these kind of half
Mhm.
episodes. They're tweeners, if you will, right?
Yeah, yeah, and this the song is a very popular song. Um, I just think the cover version is by a lesser known band as far as I'm aware. Um, but we'll get right to it. The song is "Wanted Dead or Alive" by Bon Jovi, and the awesome gracious band that gave us a tag in their post is Under Black Sky.
Right.
Yeah.
And for those that need to know, the Under Black Sky band has 1,862 monthly listeners, so they're well on their way. But if I click on Bon Jovi real quick here, they got 28,926,626 monthly listeners. So again, I think that this really personifies the underexposed side of this, which I think is cool. I'm
hmm
excited.
Yeah, and so Under the Black Sky, they're from St. Augustine, Florida, and basically their description from their website is they're an alternative rock band that combines punk, post-hardcore, new metal, and pop elements. Um, in my opinion, with listening to their cover of "Wanted Dead or Alive," it's got that kind of new metal more more sound
Yeah,
to it. Um, but yeah, what and again, like
yeah.
Nick said, this is going to be a short episode, so we're gonna talk a little bit about each band and each song, and then pick our favorite.
This under black sky logo that they have on their homepage of their website, which is underblacksky.com. Man, it's great that they got a real website name, which is cool. Their
hmm
logo is cool. It's like a USB under black sky UBS logo with a circle around it, with sort of this devil horns thing on the top. It's cool.
Yeah,
I give them props. I'm a graphic designer, and so again, lots of good here.
yeah, and even
But
and
they picked.
speaking to their logo there, like on their website, if you scroll down, so they've got the initials there in that logo. Then they have another logo underneath that with the circle
Oh
with the
yeah,
kind of the horns with the name of the band spelled out. So that's a cool logo as well.
that looks like a Tonight Show logo, kind of in a way, but kind of cooler. So
hmm
I dig it.
Yeah,
I'm on board.
yeah. We're excited that
And
they.
you've got to be
Yeah.
you got to be confident. You get yeah, you got to be confident to say you're going to cover "Wanted Dead or Alive." That's a doozy.
Yes, it is. It is. That's a big song, very
So
well
that was
known. And they basically they said they covered it for Bon Jovi's 40th anniversary, so they wanted to pay homage with their rendition to it.
oh my gosh, we're officially getting old. 40th anniversary. I remember when this song was coming out. I mean, I remember the entire year of 1987. So that's the gray beard you're seeing here.
So the Bon Jovi version, was that released for the movie? What movie was that in? Young Guns, maybe?
You're no. This was on Slippery When Wet. So
Oh, okay.
um, I mean, as a matter of fact, I think just Living on the Prayer or on a Prayer was their first single off that album. Maybe I'm thinking. Um, but no, it was off that album, and that album, Slippery When Wet, which I don't think that they're talking about road surfaces. I think they're talking about something else here. Um, it's that was a massive album. You couldn't get away from it. It's made Bon Jovi a gazillionaire. And it was the title was John Bon Jovi's admiration for old West heroes and how he identifies with them as being hated and loved at the same time. And I think that that's a
Okay.
that's a pretty damn good description of Bon Jovi in general. Because people love him or hate him for sure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I just did a quick Google search and realized I was confused. He did do a song for Young Guns, and he was actually in that movie too, but it was Blaze of Glory,
Oh,
which
I
which is
wanna
a
lay.
no, no,
No,
no,
that's
no.
a Bed of
It's
Roses,
the
isn't
I'm
it?
going down in a
You
blaze of glory.
know.
Yeah. But anyways,
Nice,
we're not
nice.
talking about that song, even though that's a good one too. But yeah, that was where
Oh,
my
it was the album's third single. Sorry, we're
okay.
guys, we're doing this. We're winging this. This is a
Hmm.
12 and a half or 13 and
This
a
is
half. So
this was about 3 minutes of research.
yeah. So it says here, and I'm going to read it because I haven't even got to the end of the sentence. But during a February 20th, 2008 encore performance in Detroit, John Bon Jovi told the crowd about running into Bob Seger at a Pistons game. He introduced the song "Wanted Dead or Alive" and said it was inspired by Seger's "Turn the Page." So I could see it. I get it.
Nice. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool. Remember when we
Well,
saw Bon Jovi in Grand Rapids? I think it was Mindy's 21st birthday, your wife's 21st birthday, and my
I
sister.
remember it.
And I remember somebody asked me if I smoked, and I was like, yeah, every once in a while. So we went in her car, but it wasn't just me and her; it was also Nick and Mindy and our stepmom at the time, and in this little tiny car, Ford Probe or
Like
something.
a
I
chord or
mean,
something. Yeah.
yeah, we were packed in the back, and I remember Minnie getting all nervous. And I remember taking a hit and holding it in and just go look at her dead in the eyes and just goes, I'm telling mom. And she, oh,
That's oh my gosh, that was funny.
uh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was quite the night that unfolded with that one.
And I
But
could
the
cut this
show,
out because I think both our moms listen. So,
it's
I
fine.
mean,
Our
I mean, that was
moms need to
20 years
know the
ago.
truth. Yeah,
That
that
was
was
20 years.
yeah, it was a long time ago.
And
But the thing
it
too,
was a great show too.
it was a great show. It wasn't like wasn't it SR-71 or who did that? Somebody opened up for him like that, and you and I just stayed back. But I know Mindy and your ex stepmom kept running up front. Now, I don't know where they
Hmm.
went, but they were up front. So, but
Yeah.
well, hell, we're into this. I
Yeah.
did see this at the very. I'm sorry. I'm gonna just. I knew I was gonna get ready right and go right into the song. But it says here on Wikipedia, it just has a section called reception. And the first sentence here is Les Claypool of Primus chose the song for the AV Club column Hate Song, where musicians choose a song they dislike.
Claypool doesn't like the song. Hmm.
No, and Jeff Tweedy of Wilco doesn't like the song here. The song
Oh.
sucks and you should not like it, is his quote. So,
Oh. Well,
you know what?
Jeff
That's
Jeff
pretty
Tweedy.
harsh.
Yeah, I disagree with you harshly. Like anybody can like any song. It's all about opinions.
Yep, yep, absolutely. All right. Well, we're gonna jump right into the. We're gonna listen to it. I haven't
Yeah.
listened to the song in a long time. And by the way, for the record, I haven't listened to it since we decided to spontaneously do episode 13 and a half or whatever tweener episode we're in right now. So,
Yeah. No, I've only listened to the Under Black Sky version a couple times. So,
so
so
winging it. All right, let's hear it. Bon Jovi's "Wanted Dead or Alive," 5 minutes and 8 seconds with 421 million listens.
Rock and roll. Yeah, so Les Claypool and who was it, Jeff Tweedy?
Yeah,
They can go suck a rock. That's a
yeah.
fun song.
You know what? If if you don't go from a little bit of 6 to maybe 8:30 and nipples get hard at I seen a million faces and I rocked them all. And I mean, come on.
Come on.
I
You know,
mean, that's an iconic moment in rock and roll history. Is that? And I remember the video where he's on the stage and he's doing this like fucking great pose. God, I mean that moment, that one line.
yep.
Um,
And I rocked them all. That's
it-
yeah, that's a fun. Yeah, he rides on a steel horse, man. How cool is that? I know
this is
it's a
about.
metaphor for a motorcycle, but just imagine if he had a real steel horse.
Oh my gosh. As I was listening to it, and by the way, I was taking notes all the way through this song because I hadn't listened to it in a long time. So I do remember here watching an interview with either John or the producer, and I guess they knew this song was going to be big, and they had a solid beat on this, but they couldn't get this live and kind of awesome feel. And I guess what happened is one night the producer or whatever was like, "Hey guys, let's just go down. Let's go have some beers. Let's go to this strip club." And I guess the whole band went and got kind of fucked up at a strip club and got a little loose, and then went back and recorded this in like a couple takes. And that's what got that
Nice.
kind of a little bit of a loose feel. Uh, Damn. I mean, I, the other thing I'm going to say is that this song, to almost perfection, does the build up all the way through. I mean, every second or 10 seconds that tick by in the song, obviously until the end, is building up to that "Seen a Million Faces" thing, and
Mm-hmm.
the guitar solo and everything. So, sort of like "Stairway to Heaven." I mean, you just everything builds up to a point and then comes down. God, it was a great fucking song. That's a
Yeah.
good song.
Yeah, I love the line how he's got a loaded six string on his back. Like that's pretty cool.
Just yes. Uh, by the way, for years and years and years, and actually until I think we saw them, I thought that the background vocals were just a dubbed vocal of John Bon Jovi singing like background for himself, and then
Mm-hmm.
until we saw him live, and I didn't realize that Richie Bent Sambora sounds like John Bon Jovi. Like, I mean, he's always in this right ear, and uh, his little additions and his harmonies are perfect. It's almost like the
Yeah.
the sound in the wind kind of thing.
Yeah, like the echo of Wanted.
And
And
yeah,
I get some
I
so
mean that's a
listening to that
hell of a
song.
song.
It is, and just listening to it again, it's been a while. Just as you, um, I got a couple Guns N' Roses, Axl Rose vibes from some of the way he sang some of the lyrics in that song.
Yeah.
I don't know, something just like in my head. I was like, oh, that kind of sounded like it could have been Guns N' Roses in that
Oh
short
yeah.
little part, not the whole song by any means, but like there's a couple parts.
No, I get it. Um, and then also too, I mean, obviously you and I are both listening to these with headphones on, so we're getting the whole sonic explosion, if you will. The instrument placement is awesome. So like even in the very beginning when it's sort of an acoustic song, the Richie Sambora raging guitar lines, which I mean it sounds like a full blast amp, but they're way in the background. And it's cool that you listen to it. And obviously it goes into the caveman drum fill that ultimately leads to a freaking power ballad guitar solo with pinch harmonics for days. Again, just produced perfect.
Yeah,
So hard to top a song like this, huh?
yeah, yeah. So for their 40th anniversary, was it the 40th anniversary of Bon Jovi in general or this song? I'm guessing Bon Jovi in general because it's formed in 1983.
Yeah,
Um,
and one thing I didn't know about Bon Jovi until recently, and I'm talking the last 2 years, is that I didn't realize that like the Runaway and the album before this, before Slippery When Wet, that John Bon Jovi was a legitimate star by himself, and the band, Richie Sambora and all the other dudes, was truly his backing band.
mhm.
Because when they were, I guess Richie has his ups and downs. Let me say that. Um, that I thought, oh, okay, you can't kick him out of the band, but I guess he really wasn't, a card carrying member of the band anyway. It was just John Bon Jovi, so I guess
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, because that was it's kind of like in my head, it's like the John Cougar Mellencamp to John Mellencamp thing. I always thought it was John Bon Jovi, and then now he was just Bon Jovi, but wasn't isn't it kind of like Bon Jovi is the band, John Bon Jovi is the man, kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Is it-
but Bon Jovi's a cool band name anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, they did a lot right.
What was
Okay,
was his birth name Bon Jovi? John Bon Jovi? I'm sorry. Oh,
it's
John
John
Francis Giovi Jr.
Giovi, huh?
Bon Jovi.
Bon
John
Jovi.
Francis Bon Jovi. Oh, holy shit. That just clicked in my head. That took me too long to realize. Bon Jovi turned into Bon Jovi. That took me entirely too long.
It's cool that we're winging this episode. So, well,
Oh,
hey,
let's get into the cover version
yeah,
by Under
let's go
Black
right in.
Sky.
Yeah, so let me put this up real quick just to make sure I get. Oh, sorry if you heard that. Wanted Dead or Alive by Under Black Sky, 4 minutes and 53 seconds, and real quick, it has 1,336 listens. So
Nice. I
so
think I might listen to it on YouTube just to watch the video.
I did
See
watch
what they do.
I'm gonna continue watching the video because I started watching the video, but I'm not all the way through. So let's let it rip. Wow. Well,
Yeah.
the, again, let me say this. I'll say it's valiant. I mean, you're talking about going head to head with fucking Bon Jovi in one of the greatest rock and roll songs of all time. So
Yeah,
give it that.
I think it's a great homage to the song. It's fun to listen to. It gives me that kind of early 2000s like new metal sound
Yeah.
like a Stained or something. Stained just keeps popping in my head.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
might be wrong there, but no, I like it. The driving guitars, the deep bass and the heavy drums. I was thinking like as I was watching the video, it's right about that time, the about 3:30 minute mark when he starts singing about the I walk these streets, load a six string on my back. It was like a tune shift in the guitar or something. I don't know, or maybe just it was just seemed
Yeah.
different and louder, and yeah, I dug it.
Yeah. You, I could, as we go through there and talk about this, you can nitpick this song. There's nothing wrong with how they did it. I mean, it could be I mean, you could get a lot of cover bands going in and trying to do this song. And it could be a fucking a bad disaster. But they have a lot of soundscapes. I like the heavy sounds of the song more than I like the quote unquote quiet parts.
Hmm.
I feel like the guitars and the ambient thing during the quiet parts are a little loud. Um, but the guy's got a cool voice. I kind of want to hear that, right? And then obviously the Bon Jovi
Yeah,
version, you're John Bon Jovi, so you're gonna make sure your voice is up in the mix. I could use that in this. I think this guy's got a cool voice.
yeah, he
Um,
does. He does. It's a good voice. And I think part of the ambient sounds that you were talking about that I didn't necessarily love in this version, it almost reminded me of a We Will Rock You, uh,
yes.
stomp stomp clap, stomp
Yep.
stomp clap, like that. I didn't love that, and I think that was kind of have featured in those quieter parts as well.
I know we kind of have a rule on this channel that we do only songs done in the studio. I'd like to hear him do this live, because I think it would have a little more looseness. And
Hmm.
look, I mean, these guys aren't Bon Jovi or not by a big label or anything like that, so they don't have world class producers to give this this sound, this sort of brown note, if you will. But it's really good. We lost a little vocal
Hmm.
dynamics, but other than that, oh, the other thing too is a solo. I felt like, and I'm sure if the guitarist listens to this, he's going to be like, "Hey, John, I told you so." The guitar solo needs to be louder. It needs to really cut through and slam you in the face. And guitarists, as I know, love to turn their shit up. And so, yeah, make sure if you're playing this live that you go to 11, because this one goes to 11 for sure. So, um,
Yeah,
but
and to
yeah,
that point,
great job.
yeah, yeah, very good job. But yeah, to your point of them going live, or playing this live, and probably having that. Well, obviously the you're amped up, you're pumped up, you got your adrenaline flowing. Because even in this in their in under the Black Skies version, the uh, part when he says, "I've seen a million faces and I rocked them all," like I wanted more energy there.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but
and but yeah, no, I think it's good, man.
mhm.
For not knowing that this song even existed 43 minutes ago, and we're 32 minutes into this podcast. Look, I'm glad we listened to it. I'm glad we did
Yeah.
this. I'm really glad that these guys, reached out to us and tagged us. Thank you for the shout out. We're gonna tag you back. Hopefully, you guys listen to this. Have a couple Heinekens. I can see you guys like Heinekens. If you want me to Venmo you a 6 pack, I'm happy to do that. So just let us know. But I don't think for new music we need to rate our favorites or anything like this, because I think it's more about the exposure and saying, hey, you know what? I think going after Lofty Air is good for a young band, and that's just my opinion. What do you think there, Charlie?
I you surprised me with that, and I agree with you. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah,
I think they did a great job. I think they've, looking at their page and everything, I think they've got some other covers that they've done, um, and some originals, and you know, I think I'm definitely going to check some stuff out. It's kind of brings me back, to some of the earlier
yeah,
music I listened to earlier in life, and I love, just kind of mixing it up, getting
yeah,
something different.
yeah.
It kind of
Uh,
goes back to the Taylor Swift. Like, I asked me 10 years ago if I listened to Taylor Swift or pop music, and I'm like, hell no. And now that kind of music is kind of in my rotation every once in a while, and I enjoy it. So,
what I'll say, I guess, in kind of closing for the last thing I need to say, I'll let you kind of close it out after that, Charlie. But is that if for all of our listeners out there, it's worth your listen. Let's
hmm.
get those numbers. Let's get those numbers up from 1,339, because Charlie and I have listened to it a couple times since then. Um, and it's worth your time. It's worth your 4 minutes and 52 seconds. Again, thanks for them for reaching out. We hope they enjoyed the review, and I owe you a 6 pack.
Yes, yeah. Thanks again, Under Black Sky. We appreciate the tag. We'll tag you back, and it's just exciting getting our first tag. It was exciting getting international listeners, and now this. We enjoy doing this, so you guys keep up the good work, and we'll keep on trying over here. And we appreciate y'all. Thanks again for listening, and we love you.
Love you.